Hi, Professor Chuckrow here. When I studied Taiji under Cheng Man-ch'ing in the early 1970s, it was emphasized that in the beginning movement, all the way through, the knees never were bent. They were always straight, but loose. And the whole body was very relaxed and very delicately poised. So first, I'll talk about a way of analyzing the alignment of bones, and then I will demonstrate the beginning movement and address the elements that I just mentioned. Here is a leg bone from a plastic skeleton, pretty accurately made. And this is the thigh bone, the femur. Here is the thigh joint, which is a ball and socket joint, knee joint, ankle joint down here. And because bones have irregular shapes, it's necessary to talk about what's called the axis of the bone, which is a line from the center of the joint at one end to that at the other end, which would be aligned this way. The reason for that is because the force is transmitted from one joint to the other directly along that line. We're not thinking about the curvature of the bone. And a similar situation for the femur, the tibia, which the axis of that bone looks like that bone is pretty regular. So let's see what would be meant in that context by the idea that the knee is straight. Here I have it facing you as if I was standing with feet parallel facing the camera. And if you take a line from the center of the thigh joint to the center of the ankle joint, that line should intersect the center of the knee joint. That is, the two axes are now along the same line, collinear. And next we'll talk about, I'll show you the beginning move, and we'll analyze it in terms of that. I'm standing with my feet parallel. The center lines of my feet are parallel. My feet are a shoulder width apart, which means that the ankle joints are separated by an amount equal to that of the shoulder joints. And let's examine the axes of the leg bones. For each leg, the axis of the femur and the tibia are collinear. But from this view, where you're seeing me facing the camera, they're not vertical, because my hip joints are narrower apart than my ankle joints are. So my leg bones are coming up toward each other. And in the side view, when I stand this way, those axes are coincident for each leg and vertical. And the way I'm standing is that for each foot, the pressure distribution is centered on the center of each foot. And now, when I start, my hip joints are very loose. My knees are loose but straight. My ankle joints are loose. So when my arms start to come up, something has to go back for me to sustain that. And what some people do is they lean back this way, beginners usually. Other people do other things. But what I do that I feel is consistent with what Cheng Man-ch'ing said, which was when the arms go forward and up, you go back. And then when they come in, you're going forward. So what happens is, as I lift my arms, the weight of my arms starts to pull me forward. In order to prevent that from happening, my body has to counterbalance by moving back, which means that my leg bones start to tilt backward, the axes of my leg bones, but my torso still has that vertical alignment. So when I come up, watch. See, my body, I think you can see my torso is going back but still vertical. And I'm doing this fast. Extend, and then it comes forward. And all during this time, the weight distribution on each foot is centered on that foot. If I use contractive force, I have to use my analytical mind to judge every moment of that and move my body to sustain that balance condition. But because if I do lift this way, I'm pulling them up. That's contraction. If it's pulling, my body is being pulled forward. But if I extend to get it up, use expansion, it's pushing my body back. And that seems to work without having to use any mental effort to do it. It happens almost automatically. So I really feel that this is the way to do this move. Thank you.